Hello students, welcome to the session. I am Mr. M.H. Mota, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. This session is on Hardy-Cross method of network analysis using balancing head method. The outcome of this session: at the end of this session, you will be in a position to calculate the flow in pipes of a network using Hardy-Cross method of balancing the head. So let's start the learning. So basic assumptions in the method of Hardy-Cross is that in each separate pipe or element comprising the system, there will be a relation between the head loss of the element and the quantity of water flowing. In other words, you can say that head loss can be calculated using a simple relation as HF equals to K into Q raised to N, where K will be constant, Q will be the flow through the pipe, and N will be another constant. So HF can be calculated as 16 FL Q² upon 2G pi square D raised to 5. Now the details of this equation we already have learned in last session. So we can calculate the head loss using this equation, and we can replace number of things in a one single constant as the K, and for Darcy's formula the value of N is 2, and we can say that K will be having a value which can be calculated using the formula 16 FL upon 2G pi square D raised to 5. Now in this equation we can see that the value of F, which is a frictional coefficient, the length of pipe L, and the diameter of pipe D will be constant, and even other factors like G and pi will have a constant value. So we can calculate the value of K in the form of constant using the formula as 16 FL upon 2G pi square D raised to 5, and when we will multiply it by Q raised to 2 or Q square, we will have a value of K that can be used to calculate the head loss through a pipe. And if we use the Hazen-Williams formula, the HF can be calculated as K Q raised to 1.85, where the value of K will be 10.62 multiplied by L upon C raised to 1.85 D raised to 4.87. So once again, all the terms in the calculation of K like L, C and D will have the constant value, and so the factor K even will have a constant value in the equation, and we can replace that K or we can say rather put the value of K, and when it will be multiplied by Q raised to 1.85, then we can able to calculate the head loss through the pipe. Second thing, at each junction the algebraic sum of the quantities of water entering and leaving the junction is 0. And third is that in any closed path the algebraic sum of the head loss is 0, that is sigma HF equals to 0. Now let's try to understand these two things with more clarity. So assume this particular junction as A. So here we can see that the flow entering to this particular node or the junction will be QA, and at the same time there are two pipes starting from this node A, that is AB and AD. So certain amount of flow will be flow through the pipe AB, and certain amount of flow will flow through the segment AD. So we can say that QA equals to the flow of pipe through AB, that is QAB, plus the flow of pipe through AD, that is QAD. So this is the meaning of the second assumption. While third, in any closed path the algebraic sum of head loss is 0. Now for that, what we will consider is this particular closed loop ABCD. So there will be a head loss from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and from D to A. And as the flow through pipe will be from A to D, from A to B, from B to C, and say from D to C, the head loss from A to B will have a positive sign. Head loss from B to C even will have a positive sign. But from C to D, the flow is from D to C, while it is in a closed loop as it is A, B, C, D. The flow through will be assumed to be from C to D. So as this is flow is in opposite direction, we will assume the head loss as the negative head loss. Same case will be there from A to D. So this, if we make a sum of all these head losses from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and from D to A, from A to B it will have a positive value, from B to C even it will have a positive value. But from C to D, as flow is from D to C and our closed loop states that it should be from D to C to D, it will have a negative value. And from D to A, as flow is from A to D and the loop goes from D to A as it is a closed loop, it even will have a negative value. So when we will have an algebraic sum of this, it will be flow ABCDA, or rather loop ABCDA, and so it will be the positive head loss from A to B and B to C, but negative head loss from C to D and D to A. So it will be head loss from A to B plus head loss from B to C minus head loss from C to D and minus head loss from D to A, as these two will have a negative value, and so the algebraic sum of all these things should be 0. We'll understand it in depth in the next few slides. So now let's assume the small simple closed network ABCD, and we will try to understand how to solve the network using Hardy-Cross method, in which we are going to balance the heads by correcting the heads. So assume the network ABCD consisting of 4 pipe segments AB, BC, CD and DA. Let the length of these segments be length AB or LAB, LBC, LCD and LDA respectively. Let the diameter be DAB, DBC, DCD and DDA respectively. Now these diameters can be same or can be varying, and we will assume the flow as Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 in the pipe AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. I will request you to take down all these things on paper, because it will be much easier for you to understand these things with the help of drawn figure. Now we will try to understand the network properties. So at node A there is a flow entering into the network, that is QA, while at B, C and D there will be a certain demand in the form of QB, QC, QD respectively. So from the continuity point of view, it will be QA, which is entering the network, equals to the flow that is leaving the network, that is the sum of QB, QC and QD. So for continuity, QA equals to QB, QC, QD, the sum of these things. Now step 1, assume the flow considering continuity. Now the flow considering continuity means that at node A, as QA is entering and flow through pipe AB and flow through pipe AD is the flow leaving, so it will be QA equals to QAB plus QAD. At node B there is a flow coming that is from point AB or segment AB, so it will be QAB, that is equals to QB plus flow through pipe BC, that is QBC. For node D, the flow coming through the pipe AD to the network to the node D, so it will be QAD equals to QD plus QDC. And for the node C, there are two flow coming together, that is QBC and QDC, which equals to the amount of flow leaving that node, that is QC. So these are the continuity equations. Step 2, we can calculate the head loss in each pipe using either Darcy or Hazen-Williams formula, that is HF equals to KLQ square upon D raised to 5, or in other words it will be KQ square. Now here the L, D and K has been written separately because the length and diameter for each is going to get vary, but ultimately the formula remains as KQ raised to N. Step 3, assign positive sign for clockwise flow and associated head loss, and negative sign for anti-clockwise flow and associated head loss. We'll try to understand it with the help of this figure again. So this is the clockwise flow. So QAB will have a positive value, QBC will even have a positive value. But see the cases of QAD and DC. So these are say anti-clockwise direction flow as we compare it with the help of this particular network. So the associated head loss from A to D will have a negative value, as well as associated head loss from D to C will have a negative value. So these things we must understand before solving this kind of example. Now using Hazen-Williams formula, head loss can be calculated. So HAB and BC will have a positive value, while head loss through CD and head loss through DA will have a negative value. And while calculating, please remember one thing: don't put the negative value of Q while doing the calculation, rather put the negative value directly to the head loss that has been calculated using a formula. Now step 4, calculate the head loss by adding the all head losses. So it will have a sum of HAB plus HBC plus HCD plus HDA. As the head loss through pipe CD and DA has negative value, ultimately the equation will become HAB plus HBC minus HCD minus HAD. And as we are aware, the head loss must be 0. So it may not be the case perhaps in first trial, as in this particular say solution we need to take number of trials, and ultimately we reach to certain values of flow through pipes which will have a sum of head loss equals to 0, and that is going to be the ultimate flow through the pipes. As a step 5, we will calculate the correction to be applied, as the sum of head loss may not be 0, and that can be calculated as minus sum of head losses upon n times head loss of ratio HF upon Q. So the n will have a value of 2 in Darcy's formula and 1.85 for the Hazen-Williams formula. We will add this correction with its sign to the assumed flow with its own sign. We will understand it in depth in an example shown in the next part of this presentation. We will try to understand the things in depth using solving this particular example. So we will try to calculate the flow through each pipe with the help of following data. So there is a closed network ABCD with the length of AB being 1000 meter, length of BC being 1250 meter, length of CD and DA once again will have a length of 1000 meter respectively. When the diameter of these pipes are going to be like AB and DA will have the diameter of 30 centimeter, while for BC and CD the diameter of pipe is going to be 24 centimeter. The flow entering into the network at node A and has a value say 0.25 meter cube per second, while the demand at node B and D is 0.8 meter cube per second, while at C the demand is 0.09 meter cube per second. So first of all, we will check the continuity. So it is going to be like QA equals to QB plus QC plus QD. So value of QA is given as 0.25 meter cube per second. The demands are going to be 0.08 at B and D and 0.09 meter cube per second at C. So the continuity is satisfied as 0.25 equals to 0.08 plus 0.09 plus 0.08. So continuity is satisfied. Now we will assume the flow through the pipes. So we will assume that at A, as there is an flow entering at a rate of 0.25 meter cube per second, we will assume that it is going to be equally distributed. Please remember that this is just an assumption. You can assume that 100% flow through one pipe and 0 through other. It is acceptable. The only thing is that if we are deviating too much away from the actual flow, then you need to take more number of trials. Well, if we are assuming something which is very near to the actual flow through the pipe, then we need to take a lesser number of trials. So please remember this particular thing. Okay, so we will assume the flow through pipe AB and AD to be 0.125 meter cube per second. So it will once again satisfy the continuity, as flow entering into the node is 0.25 and flow leaving through the node is going to be the sum of 0.125 plus 0.125, so it will be 0.25, and accordingly at BC now the flow coming to the node B is 0.125, that is from pipe AB, while at B there is a certain demand which is 0.08 meter cube per second. So to satisfy the continuity, once again the flow through pipe or segment BC will be 0.125 minus 0.08. It is going to be 0.045 meter cube per second. And same case will happen even at node D, and flow through pipe or segment DC will be again 0.05 meter cube per second. So this is how the continuity can be assumed and can be used to calculate the flow through the each pipe. Once again, I am making you aware that these are just assumptions. We have started assuming certain flow from the node A, and next part can be calculated directly using the continuity. Now, as we have seen, value of K is going to be 16 FL upon 2G pi square D raised to 5. So this is going to be constant for each pipe. Don't misunderstand the thing that somewhere we have even find that value of K has been written separately along with the value of L and D. So flow through pipe in some equation can be written as Q equals to K into L into D raised to 5. But for each segment, as the length and diameter has been given in the network analysis, which is a very common thing, then we can say that the value of K will have the value of L as well as D embedded in it, and so the ultimate equation becomes K into Q raised to N, where only Q, what we need to calculate, is the only unknown. The value of F generally used to have a value of 0.012. So now we can calculate the value of K for each segment. So K AB equals to KDA, because the parameters for these pipes are same, means length and diameter for the segment AB and DA are same, so the value of K1 will be same, and it can be calculated as 16 into 0.012 into 1000, which is the length of it, upon 2 into 9.81, which is value of G, into pi square into 0.3 raised to 5, where 0.3 is the diameter of a pipe in meter. So the value of K will be 408.034 in this case. Accordingly, value of K for segment BC will have the value of 37.005, while KCD has a value of 29.604. Please do the calculations yourself so that you will have a confidence of how to solve this kind of example. And now we will try to solve it with the help of number of trials. So for that, please make a table as shown in this slide. In this slide, we'll have around 8 columns, and we'll have the separate pipe names and associated value of K that we have calculated. Along with that, we need to calculate we need to mention the values of Q. Here you can use the Microsoft Excel. That will be much more easier. I even have used it, and here the value of Q seems to be varied as 0.125 is what we have assumed, and 0.13 is what has been displayed. This is because I have copied this from the Excel sheet with only 2 digits permitted in the column of Q, so it is showing 0.13, but calculation wise it is 0.125 only. Please remember that we can use the Excel for this with advantage. It will reduce our efforts to be done in the form of number of iterations. Only thing is that we must be very careful in giving the signs to the head losses. Now head loss can be calculated in the form of equation which is equals to KQ square. So it will be 6.37. For BC it is 0.07. For CD it is 0.0599, and for DA it is 6.37. Now once again, the value of Q doesn't have any sign in this particular trial shown, but actually we need to give the value, we need to give the sign to the Q as described in the method of solving this particular equation and associated head loss. So CD and DA will have a negative head loss because it is the flow that is in the anti-clockwise direction. For that we have even shown the network below in the form of small figure. So the head loss of CD and DA will have a negative value, and then we will make the total of that, which is 0.014, and it is quite near to the 0. So we even can stop here and we can say that whatever assumed flow will have the values which is very realistic in nature. But we'll try to solve it with more than one trial. So we'll calculate the value of HF upon Q. So it is a ratio of the 2 columns for each pipe. So for AB it is going to be 6.37 upon 0.125, and accordingly for pipe BC, CD and DA, and it will have the sum equals to 105. Now we will have another column which is stating the value of N sigma HF upon Q. Sigma HF upon Q is nothing but the sum of the all values entered in a column of HF upon Q. Please remember that HF upon Q will have only positive sign, because the head loss, if it is negative, we assume that the Q even is negative, even though not shown in this particular calculation. Because in Excel, if you give the negative value to the Q, still as it is Q square will ultimately give you the positive value. So please remember that Q and HF will have a very similar sign, while the actual calculations to be made, and so the ratio of these two as having the same sign will have a positive sign only. So it will have the sum, so value of 210 as value of n is 2. Sigma head loss is calculated at 0.014987, which is the sum of all head losses. And so delta Q, which is a ratio of sigma HL upon n upon sigma HF upon Q with negative sign. So we will have a certain value of delta Q. Now we need to calculate the modified flow by adding this delta Q into the value of assumed Q with its own sign. So it will be another trial. So whatever values we have got in this particular trial in the column Q is the sum of the Q assumed in the previous trial, in which we have added the value of delta Q along with its sign. So for AB and BC it is going to be something that has been deducted. For CD and DA it is going to be the addition, because both will have the negative sign. So ultimately you will find that the flow through pipe CD and DA has been increased while flow through pipe AB and BC has been reduced. And now we will calculate the HF as the relation HF equals to KQ square, and we will have these values of head loss. Once again CD and DA will have a negative sign because the flow in this has got the anti-clockwise direction, and sum of that has been 0. Once you will arrive on this particular stage, you need to stop taking the iteration, and the flow found in this particular trial are going to be the ultimate flow through the pipes in meter cube per second. So I hope that you have understood how to solve a very simple network using the Hardy-Cross method, and this has to be used with advantage of Microsoft Excel, so that you can minimize the number of calculations to be done manually. So that's it for this session. Thank you, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed my channel. Thank you.